penetrate that Egyptian defense. Managing to get it into the midfield, but they come out with it. Well, they thought they did through Dombogo. It is a foul, though, on Anas Imam. Two-time goal scorer against South Africa. Just barging through there, Dombogo. Instrumental, registering 89 touches in the match against South Africa. Indicates his versatility and ability to play and retain the ball. The number 12 for Cameroon, and we should be seeing that a lot. But Egypt collected in the midfield here. Mohamed Ibrahim. But it's taken off of his toes, and Cameroon pushing forward. They've got men on the overlap here. Dombogo. The first chance to stretch his legs with the ball. Goes around the outside. He's full of pace and power. And just thrashed away. Taking no chances there, Nurgad Al-Rab. On for his first minutes of the competition. Number 3 playing at centre-back, and just a bit of a sore one in the face, but Cameroon play on. Unable to keep the ball in play, though, through Joel Biwol. Biwol, who was taken off against South Africa as they tried to find that elusive goal. But it wasn't coming. And we'll see what his side are made of. Egypt going long here. They do have various outlets, Egypt, in terms of a route for goal. There's Mohamed Shahata with his first touch. Captain's pass, though, intercepted. And now they might get caught on it here. And Zogby, he's kept possession of the ball, and this presents a great chance for the captain. Shahata with the last shot. They still keep it, Egypt. And the Cameroonian defense all of a sudden got caught off it. Mark Bandelek was possibly at fault for just straying away from that. The throw-in taken by Adam El Sayed, playing on the right-hand side today. He's familiar with both fullback roles. Comes out now to Al Shami. Decides to go long. Poked through, and that was a start of a neat move, but it comes back Egypt's way. They'll be happy with this early retention. Oh, Shehata. That's great work through the legs. Plays it now to Al Shami, keeping it on this left-hand side. Imam, and straight down the throat of Junior Lopez. Played 2, conceded 2, and both coming in the match against Burkina Faso. An unfortunate one at that, especially considering that one outstanding goal by Tapsoba from behind the halfway line. Now Cameroon doing well to keep the ball on the turf, and that is an obvious foul there committed by Omar Ali. Is sitting on a yellow card. Not that it will make much of a difference in terms of going into the next phase. And that's something that will really be disappointing for Egypt. The Pharaohs so used to continental success, both for their under-17 and their national men's side. A strike from distance, and it wasn't really ever troubling the goalkeeper from Christian Tamak, the IS Dauphine central defender. Good to see the support out for Cameroon. Having to travel pretty much across the bulge of Africa to get to Morocco here. Nice leaping header, and we'll see quite a bit of that today. 2 physical sides, and flicked over the top here. Taken by El Zogbi. But that's a good defense in the end by Bandelek. Read the situation well, the number 2. up against Abdelaziz Al Zogbi, one of several ENPPI players, the Egyptian team. Deep throw goes right into the box, and a simple clearance out, picked up by David Mbimbang. And that is bound to be a foul on Andre Mini. Birthday boy for today, the number 9. Happy 17th birthday to him. Taken back by Mbinde to Junior Lopez, the captain of Cameroon. Always decent to watch Cameroon. They do know how to keep the ball on the ground and are a physical presence driving up the pitch. But for their finishing quality, the indomitable Cubs would be a lot further ahead in this group. Unable to penetrate the Egyptian goal thus far. And cut out and looking for that counter. All the way back with Mbinde. Passing it to George Biwole, the Dauphine Academy prospect. And Christian Tamak, also IS Dauphine. Familiar with each other's games, having risen up the ranks of Cameroonian youth football together. A switch of play, and there's no one there. Misread the situation. And apologies coming from Frank Luma, one of the standout stars in the qualifiers for the Under-17 Africa Cup of Nations. One of the top scorers in the regional qualifiers. Also good support from Egypt, and you can imagine they're traveling across the north of Africa to get you. Poked through by Al-Shani. And that's much better, working it into the space in the midfield. He might just still get you. Abdelkarim. A chip ball trying to go to the back post. But perhaps Al-Zogbi had just strayed into an unwarranted position there. Aliou, known for his pragmatism as a coach, likes to set up his teams very pragmatically there. Structured. And it was shown there by that foul being given, and by this ball over the top to Dumbongo. Might still keep it in play, except for the studs. Losing his footing there, the 16-year-old. Possibly thinking too much about his next move rather than just keeping the ball in play. Unfortunate for him. Already we're seeing Cameroon use that right flank to attack, and to good effect. Although just the one shot off target so far in the match. Egypt now looking for options, and we see the structure of the Cameroonian midfield. The Cubs really working in tandem there. That puts all sorts of pressure on their opponents. Egypt now on a run of having lost their last 4 games at the finals. They've lost their last 2 group games in 2011 and their opening 2 games here in the current finals. Really wanting to put that right in this match. A free kick, and Shehata showing his quality to get in front of the ball. In front of the player with the ball, rather. And well won for the throw-in by Mohand Al-Shami, one of several Al Ahly youngsters here on the pitch today, along with Omar Ali and Hamza Abdelkarim, the number 9. Hamza Anwar as well in the centre-back position. But here is the Anas Emam ENPPI player, number 20 for Egypt, earning his side a throw in. Has Roshoy on his back, Anas Imam. And we'll still refer to him as Imam throughout the game, so don't be confused as the long throw-in comes from Al-Shanti. Still have it here, close to the byline, looking to cut across the box. Picked up well by David Nimbang. And his pass cut out. Both teams trying a patient approach up until now. Might change here. It's a decent looking ball. Well, at first it was. And we'll see if the free kick does come. It seems like it was a late challenge by Frank Luma. Now Egypt have a chance to make this count for themselves, and the first yellow of the tournament for the number 7. Won't be too happy with that. Substituted against South Africa after what was a somewhat disappointing display, the number 7. And that was a real attacker's tackle, if you can say that. And it's left the Egyptian forward in an absolute heap here on the ground. Not a penalty though. The incident taking place outside of the area. Still a bit of a sore one for Adam El Sayed. But he seems to get up onto his feet just okay. And maybe well enough to take this free kick. Right on the edge of the box, and we see the position there. And that's how close Egypt came to winning a penalty. Junior Lopez having to organize his wall and all his defensive players as their line gets tested for the first time in earnest. It's going to be Mohand Al-Shanti, Al-Shami rather, from the right-hand side of the box. The number 5, a natural left footer. So we can expect the ball to curve in, and curve in with a wicked pace. Vincentia Amidon making sure that everyone is behaving. The last touch to feel that the ball is well inflated there by Al-Shani. Still waiting here. The referee not happy yet. Calling over Omar Ali and Andre Emwi. Also general calm, just being restored by the Togolese official. Seems like we are ready to get back underway. And the free kick comes in. Oh, what a waste. Kicks the turf in frustration there, the number 5. Came on as a substitute against Burkina Faso, but couldn't really affect the game, and certainly unable to do so in that particular set piece, as Cameroon have a bit of possession once again. A very decent run, looking up there from Christian Tamak. He tries to break through the lines, and they might still have it here, Cameroon. And a waste, as they weren't quite in sync with each other. That was a great darting run, though, from the centre-back. Picked up by Oscar Tundi, number 3, who can play on both sides. And the foul there given away by David Mimbang. Mohamed Shehata, well, you can't help but wondering what a big miss that he's been for Egypt, just in terms of fitness and availability in the first games. Great turn there by Mimbang once again. And a first touch for Omar Abd El Morsi. Back onto the field. The goalkeeper having been sent off in the 97th minute against South Africa in that 4-3 loss. Unable to make his claim against Burkina Faso. And also possibly a big miss as they had to rely on their substitute goalkeeper. Throw-in for Egypt. Difficult to really judge where this game is going at this exact juncture. Cameroon failing to score despite their 9 shots on target against South Africa. Also facing 0 shots themselves in that second match day. That's certainly a result which would have hurt them. Possibly even more so than the 2-1 against Burkina Faso, given the opposition and given how well they played. A draw which would have felt like a defeat. They come around the outside though through Mark Bendelek. Tries to get it in, well headed out by Hamza Anwar. Ends up being a goal kick. Two pensive coaches just wondering where the next move is coming from. Possibly a little moment of ingenious magic. But it's a game which will be probably won by fine margins, if we can say. Both defenses looking up for it so far. That might also be that both attacks have been nullified or unable to conjure up anything. Cameroon there, well now they get their pockets picked and Egypt go for the strike. A first glimmer for Hamza Abdelkarim. Scoring a goal against South Africa. The left-footed striker taking that shot on early and hoping to catch the goalkeeper out of position. Unfortunately for him though, he couldn't get it on target. But Egypt come again. Looking menacing up top. Just after the 20-minute mark here, it remains 0-0 in match day 3. The big match between South Africa and Burkina Faso also underway, let's remind you. That game also currently 0-0 as things stand. And that would very much favor South Africa. Cameroon desperately hoping for a Burkinabe goal. Mimbang goes for the long option, but always difficult against this really solid Egyptian backline in terms of height. Not the quickest though, and that's what has allowed both South Africa and Burkina Faso to grab those crucial wins. Mimbang, Cameroon's sole goal scorer of the competition so far. Now Biwole. A raking ball is well met by the header of the Egyptian defense. It might be called upon again here as it reaches Dumbogo. And he gives away the foul after a somewhat lazy second touch. Now Egypt looking to break the lines, and well, this is a dangerous free kick to give away. A professional foul by Ntamak. He wasn't quite the last man. So a yellow, very much the correct color from referee Amedome. But the Togolese official has brandished Ntamak's second yellow card of this current Africa Cup of Nations journey. Also picking up a booking against South Africa. Two coaches who are quite familiar with their team setups by now, despite not being too long in the helm. As Abdelkarim just gets a little bit of help right now, but we're just going to see something. The referee has been asked to go to the screen right now, and we'll just confirm what for. It's possibly to check whether he was indeed the last man and whether this card should be upgraded. Unclear whether Esingala Mbinde would have been able to cover for Chris Ntamak. At least that's what the Cameroonians are hoping will be the judgment from this pass and this foul. It's not quite evident, at least on first viewing, that he would have been completely through, or whether Mbinde would have been able to make up that ground. And this is a tackle and a decision which could have really big implications for the match. If Ntamak will in fact be sent off. When the tackle is made, he is not the last man, but it all depends on the amount of space that referee Vincentia Amedom thinks is going to be afforded to the Egyptian. And it looks like there could be danger and trouble on the horizon for Ntamak. We're going to see now a lot more boisterous in her actions, the referee, and there is the card. It has been brandished. Chris Ntamak has been sent off for Cameroon. A red card, tackling as the last man. The use of VAR employed for that decision. Absolutely bundling over Hamza Abdelkarim. It was most certainly a foul, and it was all up to the referee to decide whether Esingala Mbinde would have been able to cover. She made her decision, saying that no, there was too much ground to make up. And a difficult task became even more challenging for the indomitable Cubs. Down to 10 men. As the other match in Group B is still 0-0. But now Egypt also have a chance to add to the misery with a free kick. Decide to play it across here. They're not choosing to rush anything here. Egypt take it out to the wing. Imam. And he's hounded out of it by the Cameroonian side, which need to show some resilience here. A yellow card, which was upgraded to a red after being alerted by the video assistants, and that's a free kick. Getting a little bit testing here between the Egyptian side and the Cameroonians, and she'll have to calm things down here. A clear foul there. And Cameroon pick it up in the box here. This could be dangerous for Egypt. Cameroon. An excellent block, and they come again. And this time it's saved by the goalkeeper, Omar El Mordi. Well, showing a little bit of impetus there, the 10 men of the indomitable Cubs, and that's a really positive sign. What's not positive for Egypt is this immediate block. Oh, it was a tremendous work there by Noor Al-Rab. It's not so much the blocking of the ball which seems to have him in trouble, but it's more David Bondoma just rushing into him with his boots, and that is indeed a painful one. Nurgad Al-Rab just feeling the effects of that boot going right into his thigh. Oh, it's an interesting one because that was the first red card shown by referee Vincentia Enonyam. The 43-year-old has dished out a stack of yellow cards in previous matches, notably CAF Women's Champions League matches between FAR Rabat and TP Mazembe. Now we're just going to get the ball out of play as Cameroon let their own players recover from a bit of a knock. And making an early change here, Arnaud Isombeng coming onto the pitch, and Jo Biwole is going to have to make way. Unclear whether this is an injury or a tactical substitution. Isombeng, the young 15-year-old Players FC midfielder. Actually also plays in defense, and so maybe that is the thinking behind it by Saidou Alioum. So the first change of the match, and possibly elicited by that red card shown to Christian Tamak. Coming back from an offsides position, but it came off the Egyptian. Finally, the kick is given for offsides against Andre Emwi, who's found the going quite tough today. Half an hour played already, and quite a clear offside. Cameroon with 2 draws and 3 losses in their past 5 games. Now having to do it the hard way. They have maintained average possession of around 63% in the tournament, so it reflects their normal strategy to control the games, but they might not be able to do that now against Egypt. Looking to go quickly, and a handball called of Al-Shami. Good spirit there being shown by the crowd. Was just waiting to see if there was a possible goal in the match between Burkina Faso and South Africa, perhaps raising the spirits, but it seems like that is all down to the crowd, so credit to them. Dumbogo still comes for it, a penalty kick. They've done excellently here, the Indomitable Cubs. Against the run of play, and against the odds indeed. And it all started by Dumbogo. Timed his run brilliantly, and what a receive, what a pass by Bondoma to find his overlapping fullback. An absolutely obvious penalty decision there, Mohamed Ibrahim. And it's been a game of ferocious incident already, as Dumbogo may just get his side ahead. He wouldn't have been thinking this less than a couple of minutes earlier. Christian Tamak off the pitch, but now Andre Emwi on his birthday. Emini could make it 1-0 to Cameroon and get his first goal for Cameroon in this Africa Cup of Nations, and their second. A huge goal this would be, and let's see what Omar El Mordi can do. Emini takes his run up, And it's a great goal. Bottom left-hand corner. And Cameroon are 1-0 up, 10-man Cameroon against Egypt. They go just one behind South Africa for this Group B qualification. Look at what it means to them. They'll be feeling the injustices of that red card to Christian Tamak. Egypt, not only have they been unable to capitalize, but they've even gone behind. Abdelaziz and Modi diving the left side of the goal. Or at least if you're facing from behind. What a celebration that is. Couldn't have wished for a better birthday present. Andre Emini, 17 today, and giving his side a lifeline in this competition. 1-0 for Cameroon. So Egypt with a lot of ground to make up already. They will back themselves though. Scoring 4 goals across the competition up against a team which has conceded 2 rather. But here Cameroon come again, and look at the physical possession here. Well, Frank Luma goes across the box, and that's a really tasty ball. Fantastic stuff there from the number 7, who seems to have shaken off the early poor play. Crossed by Nurgad Al-Rab. Cameroon, who have been winless in open play in their last 7 games. All 4 draws, 0-0 stalemates, and so this really does buck the trend. The last win in open play at the finals was that group stage victory against Morocco back in 2019. Now Egypt trying to respond as soon as possible. Just some afters there left on David Bondoma. Cameroon don't mind, they can break at pace already. You really wouldn't think that they are the man down team. Luma goes back into the midfield. Finding Emini again. Emini with the strike. And he's frustrated with that. Shooting on goal. But a bit of a wild effort though. Just leaning back with the shot and cutting under the ball. And now we see a bit more animation from Saidou Alioum. It seems like Hamza Anwar, the Al Ahly defender, is not feeling too great after what appeared to be a tackle, but we'll see. And well done to them, giving the indomitable Cubs a bit of exuberance, a bit of drive, a bit of excitement probably from the stands. Always very well supported. The women's equivalent showing up for the young men on the field. Adds a little bit of jeopardy to the match between South Africa and Burkina Faso as well. As things stand, South Africa would be on 5 points, Cameroon on 4. And it's also about goals scored and goal difference. Oh, and we see an injury. Oh, that's an off-the-ball incident, and Egypt very well may have to force a substitution here. It looked like Adam El Sayed, who just pulled up there, clutching his hamstring. It's not a good look. We'll just see this here. Goes straight to ground. And Sayed, I don't suppose that he will be carrying on in this match. Number 6, who did start against Burkina Faso. And Sayed, who's played all 180 minutes of the competition so far. They do have defenders on the bench, of course. Already starting the warm-up. No doubt looking to the likes of Adam Mohammed, who has played in the previous games, the number 12. Never nice to see, even if his team have already failed to qualify. And we saw the good battles that he had against David Bondoma there for one. Going up the line, here's Egypt trying to make a nuisance of themselves, and might just do so. It's picked up still in the box. Abdelkarim. And resolutely defended by Cameroon. They come again though. A neat take by Imam. A last-ditch lunge by Dumbogo. And now it just gives us enough time for the substitution. Both teams temporarily down to 10. And the ball goes to the top of the box. And now they have to watch out, and a second penalty of the match. Abdelaziz El Zogbi fouled in the area. And that really is a kick in the teeth from the side that has done so well. Oscar Etundi again. Just bundling over the number 17 of Egypt. He might have gone down softly. And we will just get confirmation of that. The referee, her immediate thought was a penalty kick. And we'll see if this does get overturned, but unlikely at this stage. Abdelaziz El Zogbi ghosting in the front of his defender. And you do see the touch on the boot. It certainly does look like a spot kick, at least from this angle. Zogbi now the latest to hit the deck and get some treatment. Well, it seems like he is about to. At least he is walking, and unlikely that he'll be taking this penalty kick. But he's done well. Having scarcely played before this game. Most of that game time going to Ibrahim El Nagawi, who started against both Burkina Faso and South Africa. And a real frustration for the indomitable Cubs, who had done ever so well to get ahead of their opponents despite their numerical disadvantage. Egypt looking to their own striker, Hamza Abdelkarim, whose goal against South Africa looked like it could propel them to victory before his defense let him down. They haven't been short on goals. Junior Lopez trying his best to distract him, put him off. What can the 17-year-old do here against Cameroon's goalkeeper? Abdelkarim, what a penalty! Top left corner, unsavable no matter what goalkeeper you have. A stunning spot kick. 2 penalty kicks is the story of the game so far as Egypt equalize against Cameroon. 1-1 the score. Well, that is an absolutely delightful penalty kick. Right into the top left-hand corner. Takes it with his side foot. Genuinely, if you are going to teach players how to kick a penalty, that's exactly how you would do it. Cameroon trying to respond immediately. Take it out on the left-hand side. It might still drop their way in the midfield. A raking ball across. As well, Etundi trying to make amends for giving away the spot kick. Mimbang though crowded out, and here Egypt come on the break. But that's also broken up, and there's just tackles flying in all over the place. Trying to go across the top of the box. They still pick it up through Dumbogo. Goes on to his left, Dumbogo. And a thumping clearance. Starts proceedings again. Cameroon's trying to be brave. A little bit too much fervor in that pass. Arnaud Tsombeng playing in defense, and not a team which looks too happy for the current state of affairs that are underway. Still 0-0 in the opposing match right now between Burkina Faso and South Africa. And we're back to level peggings here as well. Barged over it, and that's quite sore. Don't know if it warrants that kind of reaction though by David Mimbang. 3 minutes of additional time being shown here. The 17-year-old Hamza Abdelkarim, the goal scorer, quite a lot physically bigger than the number 8 of Cameroon, the number 6 rather. Just a look again at that penalty kick. Well, that was ferociously into the top left-hand corner. It was brilliant. Etundi extremely frustrated with that decision. As Ahmed Abdelaziz talks to his staff. But no doubt it will be a different team talk going into the half-time break. And Mimbang should be on the field shortly, as Vincentia Amedom gets us back underway. Cameroon playing with 9 for the minute. And still Frank Luma trying to keep it in, but might have been better not to do so. Well, to a point. Cameroon still have it, and they go for goal. Has to be saved by El Mordi. It just shows you what can happen in an instant. Emini with the shot. Does very well to pick up the loose ball. And then just spanks it towards goal. The only unfortunate aspect of that was that it went straight at the goalkeeper. Forces him into a save, but at a relatively comfortable height. But El Mordi called into action yet again. A hugely eventful first half. Two penalty kicks, the story of the game, and a sending off for Cameroon. And Egypt could be in here again. And that is a sore one though. Zogby has been in the battlegrounds, and now this time taking Tsombeng with him. The number 11 for Cameroon, the substitute on for Joel Biwol. It's his first physical interaction, and he had to get there. That's actually a tremendous piece of defensive work from the centre-back. Possibly the last piece of action before the half-time whistle is blown here by the Togolese referee. And a corner kick is going to be the final play that the Indomitable Cubs have to contend with. What happens off this set piece could define the rest of the match if Egypt do manage to get a breakthrough. It's going to be a left-footed in-swinger. Comes out to Ibrahim. And very well headed out. And Cameroon looking to break. And they'll be so angry with that. But the referee having to take protocol. It seemed like a collision of heads between Junior Lopez and the Egyptian attacker. We're just going to get confirmation of that right now. But Cameroon were on the break. Oh, and he's completely clattered the Egyptian player there. Junior Lopez didn't have his eyes on anyone, and he's got to be really careful here. That's immensely painful. Hamza Abdelkarim on the receiving end of that rugby tackle, it seems. And we could expect a lengthy stoppage here. Both players going for it. Well, we're not sure exactly what Junior Lopez was going for as he made that tackle. Cameroon's goalkeeper has absolutely obliterated Hamza Abdelkarim. They're calling for VAR. They want another spot kick, but it's unlikely that the number 9 would take it in any event. The VAR just in communication with today's match official. And Junior Lopez may have just given his team another headache with this tackle on Hamza Abdelkarim. Nowhere near the ball as he just rushed out. And then, yes, it seemed like he clotheslined Abdelkarim. Absolutely took him out. And Lopez still being tended to as well. They do have Tony Wabo on the bench, as well as Juliad Abeng-Mefo, 2 goalkeepers. But not nearly as experienced as the 16-year-old from Fondation Tafi de Bankomo. Deciding not to go to the screen, the referee calls half-time. Egypt perhaps will feel a little bit aggrieved at that decision. But nonetheless, it finishes 1-1 after the first 45. A penalty taken from Andre Amini, the number 9 for Cameroon. And that was followed by a penalty for Egypt. Hamza Abdelkarim, also their number 9. But the story of the game really about what happened just before Cameroon's penalty kick. That red card for Christian Tamak, adjudged to have fouled as the last offender when the Egyptian was through on goal. It finishes 1-1 in 45 minutes. Cameroon, despite the fact that they are down to 10 men, have shown themselves very well in this game. Something to really take into the second half. They're not out of it yet. They took the lead down to 10 men. So who's to say that it can't happen again? But a controversial match nonetheless. 2 penalties and a red card. Egypt also unable to capitalize to great effect. Yeah, in a pulsating Group B encounter under the hot Moroccan sun. As things stand, it's 0-0 in the other game as well. And Cameroon are heading out of the competition. They need to find a winner from somewhere. And Egypt standing in their way. Cameroon against Egypt for this third match day in the African Cup of Nations under-17 clash. A first half which promised so much, and it delivered right from the off. Refereed by Vincentia Amedom from Togo. And she most likely never had to see this many incidents in one half of football. Cameroon starting brightly, but giving the ball away to Egypt, and they took an early effort. Hamza Abdelkarim, the number 9 for today, who scored against South Africa, going close with that strike. Then the incident of the half, a red card, initially brandishing a yellow until going to the refereeing video assistant box, and then upgrading that to a red for Christian Tamak, judging him to be the last player before the tackle was made. You would have thought Cameroon were down and out, but they won a penalty kick. Excellent work, Noel Dumbongo going through, and then a foul coming by the outstretched leg of Mohamed Ibrahim. And on his birthday, Andre Emini dispatched it with aplomb down to the bottom left of Omar Abd El Mordi. So they were 1-0 up, but one player down at this stage. Cameroon showing guts, showing courage and character. And just within a point of South Africa at that stage. But then, in the closing moments of the first half, Egypt themselves were awarded a penalty kick, as Oskar Tunde Eyen was adjudged to have fouled Abdelaziz El Zogbi. And then Egypt's number 9, a brilliant penalty kick into the top left-hand corner. Hamza Abdelkarim got his team back on a level pegging. And that's the way the first half ended. Full of incident, full of drama here in Morocco for Group B. just about ready to get underway for the second half of this Group B third match day in the African Cup of Nations under 17. The total energies under 17 African Cup of Nations. Egypt kicking from left to right this time. They'll be facing the sun. Although it's a really hot day here at the Al Bashir Stad in Mohammedia. One of the most eventful halves of her time in charge. Had never shown a red up until this point. And Egypt looking to capitalize on that. They do have 11 men as opposed to Cameroon's 10. Moaz Bayoumi comes on, the defender. As well as Belal Atia, who scored against Burkina Faso in that recent loss. And he's taking the captaincy over from Mohamed Shahata, who started brightly enough, but has faded as the game has gone on. And the Al Ahly midfielder coming on, who started against Burkina Faso, is now ready to make his point and prove it against Cameroon. Just about ready to get back underway here. After all of that incident, all of that drama in the first half. Cameroon as well, taking off the man who conceded the penalty kick, Oscar Etundi Eyen, who was so bright against South Africa and failing to live up to that hype in this match. He comes off for Omar Tsombeng. So 2 Tsombeng substitutes right now. Arnaud and Omar Tsombeng, and both for Players FC. They are the 2 substitutes for Cameroon so far in this match. Omar Tsombeng, a forward, just 14 years of age, makes him the youngest player on the pitch right now. The number 19 who has just entered the fray for Cameroon. We'll see what effect that he can have on this game. The countdown coming here for a very crucial 45 minutes. 1-1. Heading in to this last passage for possibly both teams, unless the result changes. Egypt desperate to at least get their campaign the finish that they think it deserves. Pass here from Nugad Al-Rab. Finds his fullback. And Shami aims to get it into the box, and Cameroon trying to make the most of their pace and fitness as well. David Bimbang doing pretty well there. It's just hoofed back down the field. And a decent header, it seemed, from Adel Karim. It's good to see he's back out on the pitch after that collision with Junior Lopez, the Cameroonian goalkeeper. First chance at finding some space through Atia. Zogby putting pressure on the defenders, but it is a free kick. Cameroon, who failed to win either of their first 2 games, and we just see 14-year-old Omar Tsombeng onto the pitch right now. Frank Luma there, fouled. It's for the 6th time in the finals that Cameroon have failed to win either of their first 2 games. Most recently in 2023. See the idea behind that, and now Egypt looking to counter. Shahata now on the right-hand side, and doing very well with Imam. Going across here, there might be an opportunity open. Possibly took too long with the shot there. Atia. And now the ball goes searching out on the right-hand side. Anas Imam goes back to his fullback. A little dink pass and very well handled by Junior Lopez. And the perfect amount of flight on that ball. It was just a little bit too deep. Hamza Anwar. Bayoumi, who has come on for the injured Adam El Sayed. If we can just clarify that, the number 21 at the bottom of your screen. Look to turn on the ball there, Mohamed Ibrahim, who normally plays as a central defender, but is being employed further up the pitch today. Oh, the referee playing a little bit herself. And seems to have just dropped her communication device. But the Egyptians are starting to dictate play a little bit further up the field. Out wide here to Bayoumi. Bayoumi tries to go with this cross. Might still be picked up by Egypt. No, it's a little bit too deep for Abdelaziz El Zogbi. And just another confirmation, Omar Ali, number 24, has come off the pitch, and Mohamed Shahata, who started off as captain, is still on, but he's gone out to the right-hand side a little bit further. Hamza Anwar now. Great chest control, still into the space. And looking through. That was really well played by Bellatia, whose exclusion from this match, one can only assume, came as a result of wanting to give other players a bit of time in the competition from coach Ahmed Abdelaziz. Well, you could see the run there from Abdelkarim, number 9. Just cut out at a crucial moment by Cameroon. Comes out again on the right-hand side. Imam goes into midfield. And just didn't get that touch correct. Atia reaches the Cameroonian fullback. Trying to drive forward, and Mbogo picks it up. Mimbang, number 6, has his option on the right-hand side, but the pass is astray. And that pass also just being picked off there. Cameroon looking to go a little bit more direct out on the left wing. Great pace being shown by Luma. They still have it, but a foul being called to an absolutely irate Andre Emiwi. Excellent tackle from Moaz Bayoumi. Who was substituted on the pitch against Burkina Faso. So some more minutes in the tank for him. Egypt still have it, and it's played back and across, and now to Hamza Anwar, the Al Ahly central back. It's very well played though by Amini. Brilliant hold-up play by the striker. Still has possession of the ball and looking for the through run of Luma. Luma still has it. This is great work from the Cubs. Luma goes for goal, and The deflection helps its way quite calmly to El Mordi. Now Egypt look to deliver another blow, but it seems like it's just going to be the blow on the head of Abdel Karim, which counts. Egypt trying to force Cameroon into something of a mistake, but that's excellently worked through the midfield. Mimbang driving forward, and the touch also letting them down right when it matters. Here's Bandelek, who's been quite anonymous in the game so far. Decides to go for the cross early on, and possibly was better placed to just play it up with his midfield partners. Egypt patiently probing here, just playing it across and switching play now for the defense. A long diagonal, that's a brilliant ball from Anwar, going out to the left wing. The ball does come in, and the header just wide as Zogby in a central position. Found the great position, and as that ball came in from Anas Amam, Zogby Abdelaziz, the 17-year-old, just made that effort, and well, he just had to direct it on target. And Junior Lopez would have been scrambling. A very decent effort in this second half for the Pharaohs. Cameroon looking for space up the field, and they win a free kick through David Bondoma, the Oyili FC player. Just using the options to distract the Egyptian defense, as he took the ball up himself, and three attackers were around him. You just see the clip at the bottom of the boot there, promoting that foul. And now a very good opportunity for Cameroon to test El Mordi again. They did so from the spot. Mimbang, who did score, let's remind you, against Burkina Faso. Noel Dumbogo also, who has most of the play going through him, the number 12. Possibly a decoy in this scenario. We do imagine it would be Mimbang, even being marshaled to the side. They don't want to confuse each other, of course. Mimbang goes for goal, but it is straight at the wall, and a big waste there. Dumbogo, though, keeps it, and he might go around the outside and get his chance at delivering something special. Cameroon have it! Oh, just over the bar by Bondoma. He took it so neatly on the turn. Great work again from the fullback, Dumbogo, to create that chance, and then on the turn, oh, just grazing the top of the bar. El Mordi probably had it covered if it was still in that direction. But they get the applause of the coach, and there's another Egyptian player on the deck. Well, it is so commendable for the indomitable Cubs to not give in to the fight here. Abdel Karim, the Egyptian striker, just still quite sore there. It really wasn't that gross, I have to say, as a shot to warrant that kind of reaction. But great to see the young supporters coming out for the Lions, or for the Cubs. That's a newborn Cub there. Also for the Egyptians, relishing the fans that have come out not so much in their numbers, but certainly in their volume. Now playing it into the midfield. They might pick it up here in a good position through Mohamed Ibrahim. Possibly when he had a chance to make the cross. And now, really easy gather by Junior Lopez. Offside's called. And you can see there, just as the ball was coming from Anwar, the line from Cameroon, very disciplined, as has always been the case. Conceded goals at very inopportune times, both against Burkina Faso and today against Egypt, as Luma tries to dart in and looks to gain the favor of the referee. But really, she's not interested, and now Egypt looking to counter. Doing well through El-Zogbi. And seemed like he held it up, but Cameroon have given away the throw-in. Mohamed Shahata, the Zamalek player, whose birthday was actually yesterday. He turned 17. Winning that throw-in right now to be taken by Moaz Bayoumi. Still up in the air by Cameroon, but taken again. And the options are not as plentiful as they would like, the Cubs. Throw-in now for Saidou Alioum's team. Great structure there being shown, and Bondoma looking to break through the lines. The number 10 picks it up again, helping out by dropping deeper. Ooh, and he has to watch out here. Dumbogo gets caught off the field, and there's 3-on-2 here for Egypt. This is where they are dangerous. Egypt going for goal. And a shot that really lacked any kind of substance from Atia. Ahmed Abdelaziz and his side have a corner kick now. Going into 60 minutes in this Group B match. The corner does come in, and it's a thumping header. Cleared. Cameroon won't mind that one, but at least if they manage to do that, Egypt trying to relaunch the attack once more. And it's picked up well here. Cameroon overlapping with decent numbers. Omar Tsombeng. Tsombeng looking to cut inside, and it's a cut out at a crucial moment. Great intervention there by the Egyptian defense. And he's completely free here, Luma. If he can work it out onto his right foot, Luma straight at the goalkeeper. Oh my word, what a miss. He'll be praying for a flag here, Andre Amini. And thank goodness for him, it does come. That would have been the miss of the competition. Well, he's far offside, but he wasn't to know, was he? And as good as his penalty kick was, that was a horrendous rise over the bar. So Nogada Rab starts us underway again. A bit of drama to whet the appetite. And now Egypt, a little backheel tried by Abdelkarim. Cameroon still doggedly determined, playing with their inferior numbers, and that's very well done to go around the corner. That should be a yellow card. Not just for the tackle, but for the descent as well. But Amedom deciding to go easy that time on David Bondoma. A foul there on Moaz Bayoumi as he surged forward. And the number 21 fullback is still In a bit of agony right there. Let's remind you, he has already replaced Adam El Sayed, who had to go through injury. It would be a bit of a cursed position for them if this ended up being another replacement that they had to make. But you do think this would favor someone like Mohand Al-Shami. Number 5 is already preparing mentally, at least where he sets to place this ball. Doesn't quite seem the same position where the foul came from, though. At least the second foul, obviously the advantage played from the first. Finally, Al-Shami has his directive. And a bit too far out to go directly for goal from here. He does have some tall centre-backs, but they're directly facing the sun as well. Al-Shami, and it doesn't even clear the first line. Straight back downfield, and Cameroon desperately trying to surround the Egyptian players. Well, through the legs, and that might just do for the indomitable Cubs. Driving forward, Bondoma. Bondoma, some real estate opening up in front of him. This is very good stuff. U-17, oh, and it's just thrashed wide again. The anger absolutely palpable. The Oyili striker found himself in the space just off the shoulder. A delightful pass by David Bondoma. And Cameroon's diminutive number 10, the 15-year-old, creating that opportunity. Ultimately, it was given as offsides, though. Once again, Andre Mini unable to contain himself when it mattered most in terms of the line. And the score remains 1-1 here. A really enthralling 1-1 draw so far. And full credit to both sides, despite being out of the competition. As things stand, Egypt are doing, or at least playing their part, and the cross does come in. Evades all the players, and it should roll out for a throw-in, yeah. Another chance beckons for Frank Luma earlier on. So Egypt have it on the right-hand side through Shahata. And they win a free kick as well. And finally, Bondoma does go in the book, his first yellow card of the competition. He'll just argue that he was showing a bit of physicality there himself. One of the smaller players on the field. Cameroon, who haven't conceded since that penalty taken by Abdel Karim. And they'll want to maintain that here as the ball gets floated in, and the keeper's completely lost it and handed it on a platter to Egypt. And it's Abdelaziz Al-Zogbi who takes advantage. The free kick taken by Mohamed Ibrahim. It didn't seem like it was too threatening. Junior Lopez came out to handle. And once again, he has taken Abdel Karim as a prisoner. The number 9 absolutely battered on the way to that goal for Egypt. And we'll see here, the man who got the touch was certainly not offsides. Abdel Karim with the assist for all of his troubles. Absolutely taken out by the goalkeeper. A terrible mistake from Lopez. And it hands Egypt a timely lead here. Egypt 2, Cameroon 1. And Lopez perhaps fortunate that he didn't give away a penalty right at the end of the first half. That would have made it 2-1 had Egypt scored. What a fantastic celebration by El Zogbi. the 17-year-old from ENPPI in the Egyptian Premier League. Gets his first of the competition, and it puts Egypt in a commanding position for the rest of this match. And Abdel Karim, he's really been in the wars today, the number 9. As Egypt ring the changes as well. And this may just be the goal that condemns Cameroon to their fate. It would make the other result in Group B obsolete for now. Burkina Faso have taken a goal lead in that match. So as things stand, South Africa on 4 points, Egypt on 3, and Cameroon have just the 1 point. That would naturally see Amajimbos going through, despite losing to Burkina Faso. A very strong Burkinabe outfit who themselves will be hoping to go all the way in the competition. The goal right now scored by Issouf Junior Bara in that particular match. But Egypt are 2-1 up here. Asking for another free kick. Cameroon as the number 20, Anas Imam, just took out his player there. So what can Cameroon do in response? Dumbogo's over the ball here. Decent looking ball it is, but it's headed out, and they have to restart that sequence again. Dumbogo goes along the ground this time. It might just squirm its way out. And a decent ball and a header over the bar. That time by Esengala Mbinde, the centre-back who still found himself up the field. And he just couldn't direct his header on target. Not for the first time that Cameroon have been found wanting in their finishing abilities. Still told to carry on by Saidou Alioum. As we approach the 70-minute mark here in Morocco. Egypt 2-1 up thanks to goals from Hamza Abdelkarim and Abdelaziz El Zogbi. Cameroon did take the lead early on, and we just see this goal again. He was completely unsure about it, Junior Lopez. Don't even know what he was complaining about after. But Abdelkarim, for his bravery, allowed El Zogbi to run in and score what could be at this stage the winning goal. Just a bit of a problem here for Abdelaziz El Modi. Goalkeeper's very much at the center of attention for today's clash. El Modi, who is back into the team today. They do have Ahmed Abo Saleh, the ZFC goalkeeper, on the bench. Unlike what we saw with the Central African Republic recently, who couldn't even call on any goalkeepers for replacements. They were lucky not to have to make any themselves. But it just shows you the fine lines and fine margins if you have a player injured here. A neat turn, and they still managed to keep it here, Egypt. Mohamed Al-Shami will take the free kick. Cross here to Anwar. Goes for that diagonal option again, has to hold his line. We'll see if this is called offside. And indeed, the whistle does blow. And far off sides. That ball there to Anas Imam. Egypt launch it downfield again. Decent defense there from Arnaud Tombeng rather. But now the Pharaohs have it. A Trivela pass, and they have to get it out here. Egypt could make it 3. But for the block of the Cameroonian defense. Just around the corner, and now Cameroon hoping to expose the pace that Egypt might tire within this last exchange. They still have it, Cameroon. Bondoma looks for Dumbogo. Again, Bondoma, the Oyile FC player. Mimbang has to go all the way back to Dumbogo. And this could be interesting, but very quickly off his line there. The El Zamalier goalkeeper, Omar Abd El Mordi. Time running out for both teams. But specifically for Cameroon, a win here could have given them passage ahead of South Africa if the score remains the same in that match. And they will be ruining not just their chances, but their discipline as well. Hasn't really had a save to make in this second half. El Mordi just shouldered down back into the path of the central backs. Egypt again surging forward in the midfield. Here's El Zogbi, who's switched positions as the game has gone on. Found himself all across the front line, and that's something that Ahmed Abdelaziz, the coach of Egypt, has tried to instill on his players, some fluidity and interchangeability. Across from Anwar. Down the line from Nurgad Al-Rab. Picked up by Atia. Number 10 has it again. They stick it out wide, and it goes into the box. Mbogo thumps it clear. And we'll get 2 more substitutes now. Abdel Karim, who's had so much to deal with, as well as Anas Imam. The pair of them, the 2 attackers, go off the field, and it's Abderrahman and Al-Samahi rather. The Al Ahly forward, as well as Omar Al-Adawi, also from Al Ahly, who come onto the pitch. Al-Samahi with his first minutes of this competition. Also coming off is David Bondoma. And we'll see that substitution being confirmed there. The Cameroonian number 10. The midfielder is going to be departing the field. El Dawi, who was taken off against Burkina Faso. And there's Bondoma. His substitution confirmed for Arnaud Masokong from Best Talent, another 15-year-old who came on against South Africa in that 0-0 draw. Egypt tried to launch it into the box, and this time it is gathered by Junior Lopez. And trying to release their players as quickly as possible, but to no avail. First touch here for El Samahi. On the left-hand side, occupying the position vacated by Anas Imam. Al Ahly with a host of talent in their youth. Looking to penetrate through the lines, and look at the pace here. And Zogby, and that's excellent work though from Mbinde. It was actually Tsombeng who managed to recover there. Arnold Tsombeng, the defender from Players FC. Still looking to dictate the tempo from that defensive position. And Cameroon could be through here. That's a very good defense from Nurgad Al-Rab, a 16-year-old who's had an industrious game in the center of the defense. And they're looking for another chance. The side foot. And a first sighting at goal for Arnold Masokong. The corner was taken so quickly across there. The Egyptian players completely static in the box. And he just had to direct it, and that was Cameroon's best chance of the second half. They still haven't given up hope yet, the indomitable Cubs. Despite playing some 60 minutes by the end of this match with just 10 men. A reminder that red card coming as early as the 26th minute for Christian Tamakbondi. Dumbogo and Mimbang working it out to their midfield partners. Here's Mimbang. Goes for the long-range ball, and it's headed back down into the midfield by Egypt, and looking to break again. Playing it into the mids. And the offsides flag goes up again to their disgust. Safely clutched by El Mordi. From goalkeeper to goalkeeper. Score remains 2-1 to Egypt here with just 10 minutes of normal time remaining. Cameroon looking to go on the attack, and completely contrary to how we would have expected things after that red was shown. The ball set to come in from Noel Dumbogo. Chooses to go back to his defender. Dumbogo goes over the top here. Could still win a corner kick if it goes his way, but no. Goal kick is given. Seeing a tenacity to Egypt's defense that we haven't really noticed in the previous matches against South Africa and Burkina Faso. Of course, we have to give the benefits of the doubt to Cameroon, who have had to contend with the fact that they don't have that numerical advantage that Egypt do. Need to play it around, and a very well earned free kick there by Masoko. Seems like Mohamed Ibrahim is in a spot of bother here. Ibrahim, who has the name Bandari on the back of his shirt. And we'll just see here. Well, it was actually Ibrahim who seemed to commit the first foul. still down on the ground and possibly aiming to eat up as much time as possible. Egypt set to stop their run of 4 losses in a row. And changing their fortunes in the last group game. It reads played 3. At this point in time, won 2, played 4, and drawn 1 and lost 1. The ball comes in from Cameroon. Well met by Anwar again as well. And Egypt might make this pay. The touch just goes a little bit wide there though by El Sahami. And now goes for the header. It's kept alive though, out on the right hand side by Shehata. And Cameroon's defense emerged with the ball. Van der Leck back into the midfield. Tom Ben gives it to his goalkeeper, Junior Lopez. Straight to feet and well controlled to a point there. Might still have it here, the indomitable Cubs. Picked it up by Emini. Goes across to his number 12. But Dumbogo, who seems to have inverted himself now, also gives away the ball in that promising position. Cameroon still have it though. Pretty much on the halfway line here. It remains 1-0 for Burkina Faso against South Africa. And that would mean that both these sides, as things stand, will be crashing out. Cameroon had to win today. Burkina Faso have done their part, for the most part at least. Game not over. And Cameroon need an unlikely 2 goals in the space of a few minutes, and they won't be getting it like that. El Mordi very much grateful to eat up the time once more. Comes Egypt's way there. There's 3-on-3 here. If they can just look up and find their pass. They might go at it alone though. Shehata, he's caught on it at a crucial time. Bayoumi tries for the cross at the top of the box here. Egypt still have it. It'll be interesting to see if they go directly or try and just maintain possession. They do go directly, and that's not the correct option in the end. Another substitution here being called. And it is going to be an Egyptian sub at that. Finally, Mohamed Shehata, Zamalek player who started as captain for the day, comes off, and it's Yusuf Badran who is going to come on in his place. The midfielder from ENPPI. And that is the 5th and final change for Egypt. Badran, who also came on against Burkina Faso. Now hoping to see this game out from the midfield position. Cameroon aren't done quite yet. And it is commendable to see the indomitable Cubs. Down 2-1, and it's been a couple of mistakes that have led to the scoreline for them. As well as Egypt have tried and hurried and hassled. It's well done by Van der Leck. Number 2 has a second chance at it. And dinks his way around, and what a ball this is. Surely should be a goal. And the offsides flag goes up once again. And Emini can't believe it. He's incandescent here. He doesn't think he was off, but he was absolutely off. Nearly a body length off at that. He did so well to chest it down and then take it on his left. And yet another chance goes begging for Cameroon's number 9. He might have a goal, but it hasn't been the happiest of celebrations for his birthday today. Yet another chance for Andre Emini, the Zibi forward, the Oyili forward rather, for Cameroon. They come again, testing the pace of Nourgad Al-Rab. And Egypt's number 3 does very well, even stays in play, and now they can look to counter themselves. Space is opening up all over the pitch right now. Egypt play it across and left for the substitute, Yusuf Badran. He plays it over and perhaps should have taken on the strike himself. All about decision making at this point in time. It's so exciting though. Going through the lines, and now Emini. Well, it's just grabbed off of his toes at an absolutely vital moment. Junior Lopez will have to pick this up and go around his defender. And it should be a free kick for the Cameroonian goalkeeper. Well within his right to go for that, Belate Atia. We just see this again. Well, if anyone was doing the fouling, it was probably Emini. And Mohamed Ibrahim, who's had a very decent game since giving away the penalty. Stays on his feet and just pumped up field. Should be offsides though. Against El Zogbi, it doesn't really matter though. Cameroon come in again through Emini. He's got a bright future ahead of him. The cross comes in and, well, that's not even a cross or a shot. Frank Luma, who's been somewhat anonymous throughout the game, really had better options than to take that on. And we go into additional time and probably the last moments of either side's campaign. 4 minutes left for Cameroon to salvage anything here. But that would mean scoring 2 goals in quick succession against a team which has 1 more player than them. Egypt at least can go out with a bang here. Cameroon with 1 large flurry. And it is still Egypt who pick up the ball. And a clear foul there on Atia. A bit of redemption even here for the coach of Egypt against his Cameroonian counterpart there, Ahmed Kass. He was involved in Egypt's 1996 African Cup of Nations loss to Cameroon back in South Africa. And just calls for a penalty again. The referee not interested. No control right now in the game. And the referee has demanded space as Frank Luma looked to go around the outside. And unlikely, well, he has got a bit of a shirt here. I have to say, this will be an interesting decision. Omar El Adawi appeared to have possibly brought down Frank Luma. And he hadn't been in the match at all so far. But ultimately, the VAR does not intervene, and it goes with the on-field decision. Throw into Egypt. And the sun is very much setting on Cameroon's adventure here in Morocco, as well as the Pharaohs. Burkina Faso now 2 goals up against South Africa. And had Cameroon won, they almost certainly would have been going through at this stage. Ashraf Tabsoba, the bane of the indomitable Cubs from that 2-1 loss, has gone on the score sheet. Still not giving up, still trying to save face here, Cameroon. That ball in by Omar Tsombeng. And Egypt just clearing it for anything here. The seconds are ticking away, and it doesn't look like it will make for much difference, even if they were to score now. Gumbogo. And he thought he had turned it for a free kick, but Egypt play on. There's 5-on-2 here. And if they don't score, this will be something. But Egypt come through. Oh, it's gone outside the right-hand post by Abdelrahman El Samahi. There was no offsides there, even though the flag was raised. Incorrect decision from the linesman. But it didn't matter in the end because Egypt were unable to capitalize. And they have their win, a crucial one. They crash out of the African Cup of Nations, but they might have just given themselves a chance as one of the best placed third teams, and certainly going forward for the World Cup. Cameroon are completely out. 2 losses and a draw. And that result sends South Africa through to the knockout stages, despite their impending loss against Burkina Faso still playing out. A devastating result for Cameroon, who had to do it the hard way. They scored a penalty after Christian Tamak was sent off for a foul as the last offender. Egypt then equalized through Hamza Abdelkarim, also from the spot. And it was Abdelkarim whose brave header off a free kick allowed Abdelaziz El Zogbi to steal in for the winner. Absolute deprivation and devastation on the face of the indomitable Cubs players. Group B wrapping up now. And we have our first 2 going through. It's in the other match, Burkina Faso and South Africa. Egypt full of happiness, despite finishing third here on 3 points. Their final group game at previous finals saw them defeat Ivory Coast 2-0 in 1997, draw against Sierra Leone in 2003, and lose 4-0 against Burkina Faso back in 2011. They've now defeated Cameroon here in the 2025 edition. The Pharaohs absolutely brimming with happiness.